Hi everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Tokyo Xanadu EX Plus. So last time out, we're heading around to find out more information on the Blaze, because they're apparently using stuff from the Eclipse to kind of get stronger and kind of commit crimes and stuff like that. And at the end of the last part, Shio kind of saved us from getting our asses kicked when we went into that club with a bunch of with a couple of Blaze members. So yeah, we're starting off this part with Shio giving us a bit of a talking to about about the fact that we took Sora in there with her. We took a first year student in with us to deal with this, straight into the lion's den, as it were. And to be fair, it's got a point, but to be fair, Sora has to go in. She kind of insisted. I couldn't exactly go against her, right? I think it does. It's something to do with us now, since our friend got involved in this, man. So yeah, we found out that Shio has, that's the last part, we found out that Shio has ties with Blaze, the original Blaze, and they've kind of been brought back under the control of this guy, Akihiro. My apologies. Anyway, and Shio kind of wants us to mind our own business because it's got, this is his personal beef, his personal thing that we don't have any right to kind of get involved with. Which, to be fair, I mean, it is, as a former leader of the Blaze, it is his business, I suppose, but Shio, what the fuck are you gonna do, man? I mean, you're strong, but you're not gonna be able to deal with, these powered up assholes. But yeah. This is where we find out that basically we find out what Shio's been trying to find out, of why Aki is taking everybody, taking the Blaze in this direction. And here we go. There's some pills. And this is kind of an explanation as to how the Blaze has these, how the guys in the Blaze are getting these kind of powers, which seem to be something to do with the Eclipse. Basically, they're taking... they'll talk about it in a little bit, but basically they're taking materials from the Eclipse and kind of compressing them and mixing them together to form these pills, which can give them strange powers. And apparently Aki's done something there which we didn't think was really possible at this point. He's basically able to take those pills and summon an Eclipse gate to kind of deal with Shio. I don't think this is ever really explained as to why Akihiro... Yeah, it's never really explained as to why Akihiro, with these drugs, is able to, create like an Eclipse gate out of nothing. Because I don't think... Because this happens twice, I think, in this part. It happens here, and it also happens a bit later on when Aki takes a fuck ton of them and kind of gets sucked into an Eclipse gate. But it's never really explained as to why taking these pills kind of gives him the ability to create an Eclipse gate and kind of open one up at will. I guess it doesn't really matter at this point. We've just got to go in there and save Shio. So, next Eclipse is the Cave of the Fallen Dragon. This one is Sorry. This one is a bit different. This introduces like basically walls that can be broken to find, you know, goodies and ways forward and that kind of thing. So the introduction to this one is like having breakable walls that you can find treasure in, and which you need to use your charged attack to kind of you know, use your charged attack to kind of break through. So yeah, let's go save him. I'm using Kou, Asuka and Yuki for this one because we've mostly got fire special attack and steel. Yeah, I believe it's steel attacks. Oh, it's steel type. So yeah, charge up, boom, and you break through. Fuck you! Don't hit me. That's so degrading. Fuck you. Yeah, so there aren't many new enemies. I think there's only one. It's that kind of... No, there's two actually. There's that kind of... These kind of grim... Ow, my face. Grim Reaper enemies that basically they just hit kind of hard. Nothing really different about them. Like, they don't really have any super hard like special attacks to kind of deal with. They're just a bit of a pain in the ass. You know, they just hit pretty hard, and that's really all there is to it. The other type of enemies we'll see later on, and that one's weak. Kill it. There you go. Yeah, and this is where we have the breakable walls, which have two different ways to go. Yeah, always make sure you go the wrong way. Always make sure you go the wrong way in JRPGs, because that's where loot is going to be. And here's the other type of enemy, which is new enemy, which weak to wind. They're not all that difficult. Yeah, so then we've got this bullshit. So the water here is basically, it's not pure poison. It basically slows you down as well. See, this is me working out. There we go. Oh, a bit of a video glitch there. That wasn't good. My apologies. But anyway, let's go through. Just try to avoid going into the water. But it's easy enough to avoid. You just double jump and like zoom across. There you go. Jump and zoom. And boom. Just avoid hitting it and you'll be just fine. That's pretty much the biggest pain in the arse of this area is that water, which kind of slows you down. So you just have to be careful, really. Just make sure you know which buttons to press. And here I am just... Yeah. I could have just used my special attack here and just killed them all instantly because they're all relatively close together. Didn't think about it too much though. Alright, then let's open this up. Get some extra special materials. And let's continue through. Again, this dungeon is... even though we're quite a way into the game, there isn't really a lot of options. You know what I mean? Like, it's not very I'm trying to wait. What I'm trying to say, everywhere is still quite linear. Even this far into the game and going into the 5th chapter, I think there's like 8 or 9 chapters in total. So it's kind of a so you know, we're still we're a fair distance into the game, and we're still doing all these kind of you know, the dungeons are still pretty fucking linear. So yeah, there we go. Jump over. Let's break these. Shit, die. Yeah, those do absorb to you, so you can jump over them and you're more than likely going to pick up the majority of the stuff. So it's not too bad. There we go. And let's open this chest up. Army t-shirt. For this point in the game in your first playthrough, that's a pretty good that's a pretty good piece of armor to have. Increase your defense by a decent amount. So it's not bad to have, but you know, I've already got end game shit, so you know, I don't really need it. And that's the dungeon done. Like I said, it's fairly linear, fairly straightforward, with not really much much to find off the beaten path. So let's just head over and we're gonna take on the boss. So let's get going, shall we? Yeah, Blade Rex. I actually really like this thing's design. Kind of a cool looking design. I like the horns on its head and on the side of its head and on the top of its head. That's the thing that looks kind of cool. And to be fair, Shio's kind of a badass in this scene. He's holding on pretty well for someone with no weapon to kind of you know, defend himself with. He's actually doing quite well. He's held him off. So yeah, it kind of shows off how strong Shio is at this point. That, you know, he's still going and he's you know, he's still fighting his way. Even if he's not doing much damage, he's holding it off quite well. So yeah, it kind of shows what Shio's going to be like when you actually add him to the party in a little bit. He's slow, but he packs a real fucking punch. Like, he hits really goddamn hard. Alright. Time to fight the blade. So this thing's weakness is wind, but yeah, I'm just gonna fuck him over by using Yuki's special attack. And I've still got another one in reserve. I think this takes him down by a majority of his health. I don't think I've shown this off either, so it's kind of cool. Look at that. So the thing about this one is that it bounces around at you, and it's gonna kill it. Dead. When you're playing it normally, basically, it is kind of tricky because it bounces up and down and runs at you quite fast. So it's you know, hard to avoid, and it also hits really quite hard for this point for this stage of the game. You know, so it's kind of a tricky boss. I wouldn't say it's super hard. I would just say that it's kind of tricky, like hard to avoid, hits pretty hard, and is overall falls into the category, like I say, falls into the category of a pain in the ass rather than out and out hard. You know, it's a bit of a pain, that's really all. Even on your first playthrough. Huh? And so yeah, this is a bit of a different thing because in all the other eclipses that we've dealt with, we were just warped out at the point where we entered. This time we've been spat out in Memorial Park, which is a fair distance from where we were. So yeah, kind of shows that it was a sorry. It kind of shows that it was one that was forcibly created rather than one that, you know, kind of occurs naturally because of the eclipse, if you know what I mean. It's kind of, it was obviously, it shows that it was kind of forced into existence by Aki rather than being one that already existed that kind of occurred naturally because of the eclipse. And Shio I actually really like at this point because it's the first time. I really like this because this is the first time when we have someone who's like calm about it. It's just like, look, I just want to know what the fuck's going on, man. Just tell me. And here, it's just like, Hiragi tries to erase his memories and to kind of, you know, just to try and get him out of the picture, basically. Hiragi's fucking brutal at times. But yep, he isn't affected by it. I don't think it's really fully explained. I think it's because it's a similar thing with. I think it's a combination of him being like the rest of us and him having latent kind of that weapon. Kind of, he has the ability to get a weapon, you know, awaken to that power, and partially because he's just such a fucking hard-headed asshole. You know, that he's just so stubborn that he just won't fucking let it affect him. And he kind of makes a good point as well that, you know, he was a former leader of the Blaze, so he wants to be in on this as well. He doesn't want to stop us from doing our investigation and stopping Aki. He just wants us to help us get involved with it. He just wants to kind of continue his own investigation and kind of know that, you know, what we're doing and what we're trying to stop at the same time. Yeah, and apparently she's got a hand on one of the drugs, on some of the drugs as well. Okay, so that's why she got a hand on them, and why she has them. So yeah, this is pretty much the confirmation that it's basically drugs formed from some of the more dangerous some of the more dangerous elements. I'm sorry, it's glitching. Pissing me off. Some of the more, you know, but it's like a drug made from some of the more dangerous materials in the Eclipse. And so, yeah, we're going to have to do something about it. So, yeah, and Shio can't, having heard all this stuff about these drugs, he just... You know, I'm not going to be, you know, he's not going to turn his back on him. He's going to keep going regardless of how outmatched and outgunned he is. He's going to keep, you know, trying to stop Aki and stop his former group from going down this terrible path. But of course, it's the typical, again, it's another kind of anime trope of the thing of him being... I'm the tough badass and I can do all this myself and I don't need your damn help. So I'm just going to keep going my own way and to hell with a lot of you. So, yeah. So Shio's going to keep going as he plans. I'm going to keep trying to stop Aki. And of course this doesn't really affect our plans at all. We now know how the Blaze is kind of getting all these powers. So it's going to be up to us to kind of get some more info and kind of find a way to... Because we now know where the Blaze hangs out, so we just need to find a way to work out where they're getting all these Eclipse materials from, where specifically, and we can try and put a stop to it. You learned nothing. I do like that from Kou. You know, that he's kind of like, yep, you've learned fucking nothing, have you, you old prick. Ah. So that's Aki on the left. We've seen Shio on the right there, but who's this guy in the middle? Something tells me he's going to play an important part in this story. In this section of the story, anyway. So we're gonna... So, yeah. So this was taken a year and a half ago. This, just before they disbanded. So yeah, these are the two leaders. Shio was one of them. The other guy we don't know, is just know his name is Kazuma. So yeah, obviously the him that he mentioned, he'd not been able, if he walked away, he'd not been able to face him again, is obviously Kazuma. So we're gonna have to find out a bit more, and find out more about what this Kazuma guy was like. But we can't do that yet, so we're gonna have to wait a bit before we go into that, go down that particular rabbit hole. Yes, so that's what we're doing next. We're trying to find out where in the Eclipse the Blaze are getting their materials from. Yeah, it is kind of scary actually if those drugs manage to get out to the wider public. What kind of damage could be done? So we're going to have to stop it. Oh, Yuki, what the fuck are you planning now, kid? Ah, yes. The Yakuza. Some more Blaze info just came in. Okay, let's see what's going on. So, what's going on? Oh, shit. So, yeah, just when we thought nothing else could possibly go wrong at this point, the Blaze have decided to go and take on a bunch of Yakuza and put a few of them into the hospital. Yeah, as you can probably tell, the Yakuza are not going to be particularly happy about that, and they're going to want to what's the best way of putting it? They're going to want to dole out some punishment. So yeah, with the way things going at the moment, this could turn into an all-out gang war between the Yakuza and the Blaze. So we're gonna have to try and deal with them and put a stop to this all this drug shit before the Yakuza get involved and pretty much, you know, murderize the shit out of them. Only the easiest stuff for our group, eh? So yeah, Asuka and Kou are going over to Horacho to gather some info on the Yakuza and also on the Blaze and the Yakuza's kind of fight last night, and see what the hell's going on and see if we can kind of try and put a stop to it. Oh god, they're hanging out. This isn't good. So, yep. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to find out more information, but that's not going to be to next part. So join me next time for the next part, when we'll be walking around Horacho to find out more information on the Yakuza and also on the Blaze, and possibly find out where they're getting their the materials from the Eclipse actually from. So join me next time for the next part of Tokyo Xanadu EX Plus. See you next time.